there, tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews and episode 826 of the continuing adventures of the beers that are taking up space in my cellar. Tonight, we're going to take a look at a beer from BC, from the West Coast, from the brewery Central City, the makers of Red Racer IPA. We're going to take a look at Detective Saison. This is not branded under their Red Racer label. This is branded under their normal Central City Brewing label. This is a smooth Saison ale balanced with a fine malt character and a spicy attitude. 6% ABV. Amid the dirt and weeds sullying the streets of Central City, Detective Sarah Saison is a breath of fresh air against the city's moral compass. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got this almost Sin City kind of cartoonish label on it. And it even shows you their Instagram address, which is Central City Brew, all one word. Central City Brewers and Distillers, Surrey, BC. Saison brewed with the addition of pink peppercorns. Interesting. Let's see, what's it say? CentralCityBrewing.com. Cool. It's got their standard Central City Brewing cap, which you'll find on bottles of Thor's Hammer, on bottles of Red Racer Imperial, on anything that these guys have that's in a big bottle like this. So let's pop the top off of this one and see if she levels up. I think this came out... we got this a few months ago. I think we got this in May. It's August right now at the time of this recording. And it's interesting. So... there's not a lot of Saisons in Canada, at least not a lot of people brewing a Saison style. And Saison is actually a Belgian style, which is a really loose style. It's open for interpretation. Basically, a Saison is a beer that Belgians used to brew back in the day for farmhands to drink, to quench their thirst and rehydrate while on the job, attending to the farms. And the style itself is loose room for interpretation. You can have really funky, yeasty farmhouse ales, or really dry, almost like blonde ales with a little spice character, like blonde ale with coriander, saisons, and it's really kind of a loose style. But in the gist of it, it's a light Belgian pale ale with a lot of spice. So it's let's pour this out. And I am getting a lot of carbonation. But I did pour it rather aggressively because I have had a few to drink tonight. So let's give this my usual obligatory photo. Using my Sony Nex 6 for this. Let's see. 6% ABV. Looking at that is very blonde in appearance. Very, very light blonde. But looking through it, it's hazy. There's particulate in it, but for the most part, it's hazy to the point of a foggy day. It's there's a lot of sediment in this, but it's not like sediment that's big chunks of settling to the bottom. It's all suspended within the beer. And the beer isn't super carbonated at all. There's a little stream of bubbles that are curling up over the side here, going up into the head, but it's not what I would consider a super carbonated beer. Although the head does give you that kind of impression, where there's a lot of head to this beer. Give that a pour. Look at that. It's the kind of head where it's got enough retention where you can keep pouring it into the bottle, and the head's just gonna pop over the top in a big head cake almost. That's a really nice beer, and that's what you kind of expect from a Belgian. It looks nice, but isn't really a indicator of if it tastes good. So let's give it a sniff. So you don't really expect a lot of smell from a Saison. I mean, you really expect just like comparing it to like the likes of Saison Dupont. You expect it to have like a cotton candy sweetness, a little hint of a grassy note. And you get that from this, but it's not super strong. Sec here. Balls and shaft, says Paul. You know what? I agree. so that's gonna get a like. There's no BDU tonight, so I'm a little upset. That's why my laptop's sitting on the kitchen table here. Fucking Chad. Actually, I think he's in surgery, so usually if Chad's not around, it's El Harlock that takes over. So, well, we know who should go. Suck balls and shaft, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it's like subtly grassy. Little hints of caramel, brown bread, coriander. It's not very strong. You get mostly just a little subtly sweet, grassy note. Not very strong aroma. Let's put this down the hatch. Cheers. Despite not having a lot of carbonation coming up through it, that is very carbonated. Woo! It's almost, as soon as you drink it, there's almost like this lemon tartness with a little hints of coriander. And then it expands as soon as it hits your tongue and goes. It really explodes into a puff of foam, and then it disappears. So what I'm getting is just this puff of foam with a lingering syrupiness down the center of the mouth, like the roof of the mouth and the back of the tongue are kind of coated with this little bits of like a little syrupy sweet, with a nice tender tartness, like a lemon tart. You know, I had this a couple months ago, and this is a little bit better than I remembered. But I'm still not thoroughly impressed with it. Like, at least with Saison du Pont, that thing was very easily drinkable. You could put that thing down the hatch with super ease. This one here kind of sticks in the throat a little. But it does match the style of Saison. I think that it's a decent Saison. It's not my favorite. I'm going to give it a 3.25 out of 5. I definitely try it. I would consider it a good Saison, especially considering it's coming from a Canadian brewery instead of a Belgian brewery. But for the most part, there's better out there. I think if you generally like the Saison style, I would think that you would owe it to yourself to try Belgians like a Saison du Pont, because that's the archetype from the style, and it's just so easy to drink and effervescent. This is very carbonated and close. And honestly, if you're grading it based on style, it's probably a lot closer than 3.5 is out of 5 is to the center, to the perfect one. But this one I'm just not that crazy about. It's a beer. It's basically a blonde ale with coriander and lots of carbonation. And the appearance is completely deceptive. You don't expect that carbonation from it. As soon as you drink it, boom, just explodes. So yeah, if you see it, I'd try it. You know me, I would try anything once. But would it be one that I would run out of my way to get to? Nah. I think there would be other Saisons I want to try first. But if this is a new product sitting in your liquor store, by all means, give it a shot. It's better than your average swill. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Saison, or Central City's Detective Saison. We'll talk to you folks later. Cheers.